But it doesn't happen out here. Out here, Mars is the seventh lord. And they finish the cases fast. Look at the energy involved. Quickly talk what you have to say and come to a conclusion. What else do we expect with Mars? It's in Badhaka, 11th house, expensive. The minus point is it is very expensive. Litigation is very expensive in the US. Like that, from the Mars, you can study the plus points and the minus points.
Is the 11th house juries, the jury system? Because the 11th house.
That's right. 11th house is aspecting the 5th house. There's a beautiful jury system out here, which is not there in India. That's a very good point, Satsriji. Do you get the point? The 11th house, Mars, is aspecting the 5th house of people. So people form the jury. So America has the jury system, which is an important system. The jury is in the 5th house. It's from the public it's coming. It's representing the public opinion. Jury is nothing but understanding is the public opinion on an issue. The 4th house is the land. The 5th house is the people. In the mundane chart, 4th house is the land, 5th house is the people. 10th house is the leader.
Won't the mutual aspect of Saturn and Mars, will that create problems?
Yes, yes. There can be sometimes very conflicting opinions, and people can be very high strung when these judicial cases come up with juries. For example, take the Michael Jackson case. There was a jury sitting inside, and outside there were people throwing away their shirts and jumping. That's Mars, Saturn, madness yoga. I mean, you can't help it. You can't have everything perfect. You can't stop the people from expressing their opinion from outside the courtroom. But the very fact that you are allowing them to express it shows fundamental rights are strong. The 9th lord is strong. In some other country, probably they would all be rounded off and like herded into a police station. Right. So that Saturn-Mars combination is right. So, okay, what else do we see about this? So you can see that the 13th Amendment was for slavery abolition. This is very important date. See the thing why I have given dates over here? I want you all, when you go back today, to make charts of transit charts and study those transit charts for these days. Please make a note of that. I am not going to go into every little tool that is available in Jyotish. You have to work on those tools. I have taken the trouble of getting all the dates for you and what the major part of the amendment was. You are expected to make the transits and study the transits for this. Okay. Now, another major amendment was in the second cycle of Vimshotri Dasha. You know what I do? After 120 years, we go into another cycle. Right. The 16th Amendment allowing income tax. You think that's an important amendment? At least all of you will agree on that. Huh? Was ratified on 3rd February 1913 in Moon Dasha, Venus Antardasha. Now, how is Venus involved with income tax? Which house did we see income tax from? 12th house. Right. Venus, the Lagna Lord, showing the strength of the constitution. It must be fine. You see, anything is strong if it is physically strong and financially strong. Both strengths are equally important. So it may be physically very strong, but financial viability is also important. So it was necessary that although you have guaranteed all these freedoms, you also need some money to guarantee those freedoms. So because, as Zoran has correctly pointed out, Venus is conjoined the 12th lord, Mercury. That is how the amendment was brought about in Moon Dasha, Venus Antardasha. The Pratyantara, of course, was of Rahu. Again, you can see the Rahu as the Pratyantara Lord is showing the exact time when the amendment will take place, because it is in the second house aspecting the eighth. So, all these amendments you can see are linked to the eighth house. And the planets involved will give you an idea of how things are going. Now, two more amendments. The 17th amendment was created, that created a Senate. Did you know you didn't have a Senate before this date? How fortunate you are, right? No senators, is it? Okay, on 8th April 1913. So, your Senate is very recent. The Senate is a very recent thing in the US. And that happened in Moon Dasha, Venus Antardasha, the same Antardasha, Moon Venus. So, on one hand, you are bringing in taxation, and on the other hand, you are bringing in representation in the next Antardasha. Which was the Pratyantar Dasha? See, the Dasha, Antardasha is the same. One is Moon Dasha, Venus Antardasha, that is also Moon Dasha, Venus Antardasha. But the amendment for income tax was in Rahu Pratyantar Dasha, and the amendment to start a Senate and have senators was in Jupiter Pratyantar Dasha. We have seen Jupiter has always been involved whenever amendments for the president, vice president, and people who are to represent are involved, because Jupiter is in the 9th house with the sun. So, you see the American story of no taxation without representation. So, first they introduced the amendment for the taxation and then for the representation. Why are senators there in the first place? They are to ensure that you don't pay too much tax. That is their main job. That's their primary job. They don't, that you people are not taxed more than what is required.